It's DI time. Defense, 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 defense. Defy death, defy physics, become an immortal. DI is power. Good DI is the difference between dying at 30 and living to 200. DI can flip entire situations on their head. Check this out. My slide-off DI allowed me to live to steal this game out from under Killawilla's nose. Suck it, Birdman. DI comes in three forms: regular DI, smash DI, and ASDI, or automatic smash DI. In most situations, there is a right way to DI. However, this is not an absolute. DI starts to get really deep when both players know that the opponent knows the proper way to DI the matchup. It becomes a game of subverting the opponent's expectations and baiting them into DIing a certain way for a guaranteed punish. DI will alter your trajectory when you are launched by a move by holding the control stick in any given direction. You can DI throws and regular hits. A great way to visualize DI is Marth F smash. I hold out, I go flying, I hold in, I fly less, I hold up, I go up, I hold down. Yeah, you get the idea. With that explained, let's talk smash DI. To do that, we have to start with hit lag. If you don't know what hit lag is, it occurs when you are hit by a move. Your character will be frozen in place for a few frames before being launched. These frames are when you can input smash DI. You can smash DI once for every frame of hit lag, except for the last frame, which is reserved for ASDI. You can input smash DI in two ways. The first is to bring the control stick from neutral to a cardinal or diagonal direction, then return it to neutral and repeat. The second is to roll the control stick from a cardinal direction to a diagonal. Because Sakurai hates you, rolling from diagonal to cardinal will not register a smash DI. So in general, the best way to get multiple smash DI inputs will be to slam to a cardinal, then roll back and forth across the cardinal. ASDI is comparatively simple. You can achieve it by simply holding the control stick or C stick in any given direction. It will register an SDI input on the last frame of hit lag. If you are holding both sticks in a direction, the C stick direction will override the normal control stick. You can even hold the C stick preemptively and it will still register the ASDI. This allows us to do things like buffer ASDI down during the animation or lag of anything. This will give you an effect similar to crouch canceling. It also has the bonus of not telegraphing your play like a crouch would. I'll also cover wiggle out here since it can go hand in hand with DI and SDI. During tumble or knockback, you can wiggle your control stick to become actionable sooner than you normally would. You generally want to wiggle back and forth to avoid accidentally burning your double jump. Now that you know about the different types of DI, let's take a look at how to... Of course, we can always turn to Uncle Punch. Before we do though, let me set a scene for you. You practice in Uncle Punch and then go to play some ranked, but it's just not working. You feel frustrated because nothing you've been grinding is actually seeming to pay off. You just keep losing. Okay, now throw that mindset out the window. Here's an analogy for you. Bob is learning to play the guitar. He just learned how to play a B chord. Should Bob go play a show? Hell no! Bob doesn't know how to switch from B to C, or G to B, or B to A. He'll crash and burn if he's still figuring out how to change chords while giving a performance. Instead, Bob should jam with his friends. There he can figure out the best way to use the B chord in conjunction with his other chords in a relaxed, casual environment where he doesn't have to be afraid of messing up. I'm talking about focused friendlies. Many a top player has spoken on this, but I figured I'd include it just in case you haven't heard of it. Play unranked, play with a friend, play to improve, not to win. Take something you want to work on, a technique you need to get better at, or a bad habit you need to break, and shape your session around it. Do you struggle to implement SDI? Make a conscious effort to SDI every hit of a whole session. Then when you've built the muscle memory to SDI during an actual game, you can start to figure out the best way to use it in any given situation. Are you a scrub jumper? Only recover low for an entire session. It doesn't matter if you get edge hogged the whole time, there are literally no stakes in unranked and friendlies. You can force yourself out of picking the same option every time. I mention this now because there aren't that many great ways to practice your regular DI. It mostly boils down to holding out to escape combos and holding in to survive finishers. If you have trash DI and you find yourself constantly becoming combo food or dying at early percents due to getting sent at awful angles, go into a session where your goal is figuring out how to DI every hit for the matchup. If you can't figure it out while playing, review your games, watch some pro gameplay, or ask in your character discords, or come to mine and ask me. You'll figure it out eventually. Then you can apply it in your next session of Mindful Friendlies, and before you know it, you'll be DIing like a champ. With all of that out of the way, Smash DI is much more straightforward when it comes to practicing. First up is SDI training. This will have you SDI Fox's up air. His up air is 2 hits, the weak and the strong. Our job is to SDI the weak hit to escape the strong hit. That means if you see X out of 5 instead of X out of 3, you are inputting the SDI slightly too late. Because of how the hitboxes are positioned, if you do not DI the throw, you will usually want to SDI in the direction Fox was facing when he jumped. If you do DI the throw in either direction, you will want to SDI the opposite way that Fox is drifting. For a lot of characters that require 2 SDI inputs, this is the easiest way to SDI out of the up air. Falcon, Falco, Marth, Peach, Sheik, Link, Young Link, Roy, Kirby, Yoshi, Ness, Pikachu, Pichu, Doc, Mario, and Zelda can all do it with 1 SDI input plus an ASDI in the same direction. Ness, Pikachu, Pichu, Doc, and Mario only work if you SDI into the direction Fox is facing. Fox, Puff, Samus, Sopo, Luigi, Ganon, Game & Watch, Donkey Kong, and Mewtwo require 2 SDI inputs plus an ASDI. I even got it to work with Bowser in Training Lab, but I think you need some TAS level inputs. When you first start this training, it will be difficult, but by my 3rd session, I was landing multiple in a row. See how many you can get. My personal record is 10. I encourage you to experiment with this training and find out what works best for you, considering that Fox is the most popular character in the game, and you will get up-aired a lot in your melee career. Just remember, if you're struggling, DI the throw and SDI in the opposite direction of Fox's drift. It will make things a lot easier when you're first starting. Next up, we have ledge teching. Ledge tech will have you SDI into the stage and tech off of it when your opponent tries to swat you away during your recovery. You can also get the tech with only the ASDI you get from holding the control stick towards the stage. When you tech off the wall, jump and complete your recovery. You should start practicing on a stage with clear walls like Dreamland, Fountain, or Yoshi's. Do not pick Battlefield to be your first practice stage. Battlefield's ledges are super jank and your ledge tech will be very inconsistent compared to the other stages. My best tip for this one if you're struggling is to use the C stick to ASDI into the stage and use the control stick to access the tap jump buffer. Next is OMSA tech training. OMSA teching is when you ASDI down into the stage upon being hit and press the shoulder button to tech, resulting in your character being given a second chance at life. I could only make this work by DIing down in a way as well as ASDIing down. After landing the tech, I DI in to catch the ledge as I slide off the stage. You can start holding the shoulder button pretty much right after you taunt. A tip to land this more in a normal game is to tech preemptively when you are stuck in a lot of lag and know your opponent is about to hit you with a strong move. Moving right along, we have Wave Shine SDI. In this training, Fox will wave shine you across the stage. You can escape this fairly easily by SDIing hard in the opposite direction that Fox is traveling. You should only need 1 or 2 Smash DI inputs plus ASDI. You can also practice Smash DIing the down air at the start. Smash DI is especially effective on it as it is a multi-hit move. Lastly, we have slide-off training. Slide-offs are incredible for reversing bad situations and punishing people for attempting to shark you or juggle you on a platform. You can achieve slide-off DI by simply holding both of your sticks down and slightly away while being hit near the edge of a platform. In my opinion, the hardest part about slide-off DI is recognizing situations where you are set to perform it, so that you can make the most of it. The training in Uncle Punch is great for getting that muscle memory down, but what you do after will come from trial and error in your games. A tip that I have is if you are traveling fast and tumble towards the edge of the stage or a platform, try to force yourself not to tech because it's likely a slide off is coming and you don't want to get that air dodge. For the final part of this video, I'll show you how to set up custom situations in Training Lab to practice SDIing any way you want. Go to the center of the stage, teleport the bot to you. In the pause menu, go to recording and save your positions. Turn the CPU to record and hit yourself with your desired move while controlling the CPU. Now pause again and change the CPU to playback, then set auto restore and loop input playback to on. Just like that, you can practice SDIing anything to your heart's content. You can also go back to the record menu and save your scenario to come back to and practice later. This goes for any scenario you build for yourself in Training Lab. That will do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. This is by far the most research I've ever had to do for a video, and I worked very hard to present the information I gathered in a hopefully easily digestible way, hence the long production time. I've learned a lot from making this video, and I hope you learned a lot from watching it. I also want to shout out the veterans in my comments section for keeping me honest. I'm still learning the many mechanics of Melee, and your corrections help me make higher quality videos, and I can't say how much I appreciate your kindness and knowledge. I will see everybody in the next video.